Hi there. Hello. Hey, hey, hey. Good day, everyone. Hello, and welcome to our live webinar on local SEO. I'm Elena. How are you? What's your day like? From where are you watching us? I'm delighted to see you are here today, and I hope that you are all ready to learn about the exciting world of local SEO. First, I want to extend a warm welcome to all of our attendees who are joining us from different parts of the world. Whether you are tuning in from the comfort of your own home or from your office, we are thrilled to have you with us today. Hey guys! Today's webinar is all about local SEO, which is a critical aspect of digital marketing that can help local businesses of all sizes achieve greater visibility and attract more customers from their local communities. Our expert today is Joseph S. Kahn, is here today to share his knowledge and expertise and to answer any question that you may have about local SEO. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn. Okay, welcome everyone. Who am I? I'm Elena Prohoda, and I'm social media marketing and community specialist at Serpstat, the go-to platform to speed up search marketing goals achievement. Firstly, let me give you a brief overview of our platform. It helps find the proper keywords, identify and analyze your competitors, almost all sites' backlinks, track daily rankings, audit websites, and manage SEO teams, and many, many more. Additionally, we provide warm online support and customer success, as well as free manuals, tutorials, webinars, and video chats. And today we are covering the top 5 local SEO harmonics to achieve amazing rankings. I'd like to provide you with some important information. The duration of the webinar is approximately 60 minutes. In case you have any questions, send them into the live chat on YouTube. We will review and answer them during the Q&A session. All of you will receive the webinar materials on your email. I'll send the sign up page to the chat. Please make sure you have registered there. Just one moment. Okay, it's here. It's time to meet our speaker, Joseph S. Kahn. Hello,
Hey,
Joseph.
hey everybody.
How's it going?
Awesome. Super excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Great. I'm really happy to have you here. Let me introduce you to our attendees. Joseph is a marketer with 20 plus years of experience in SEO, content marketing, digital marketing. He creates tailored harmonic strategies to help his clients succeed. Also, he is a great friend of Serpstat, inspiring and amazing person. He has some of the best advanced SEO courses in the market and is ready to go to deliver free information on beginner to advanced SEO. And Joseph promised to share his 5-step formula to rock your local SEO results, guys. Personally, I'm eager to learn that. Guys, enjoy the topic and prepare your questions. Don't miss the opportunity. Here you are, Joseph.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I want to make sure, everybody can see my screen. Perfect. Thank you for that introduction. And HumJam is an ambassador for Serpstat. We love it. You'll see it all in our tools or in our presentation today because that's kind of the main tool that we use for SEO. So we love it. It's awesome. And so we're going to show how to rock that here today a little bit. Today is going to be a fire hose presentation here. So as Alina said, five things. I'm going to give you way more than five. So feel free to take some screenshots. There's going to be a lot here that I can't cover because I'm restricted to about 45 to 50 minutes. So I'm going to go over about 20 hours worth of material. I laugh because there's a lot of material here that I could go tip by tip, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to go to. So we're going to fly through a lot of it. We're just going to gather as much as we can. There's five main things that we'll review at the end that if you add to your campaign, you're going to rock. And we'll show you that during this. A little bit about me, just a quick screenshot. I've been doing this for a long time. I was the CIO for John Maxwell. A lot of people know him as a global leadership expert, but I've consulted for a lot of big companies. You may not know who Cox Communications is. That's big here in the United States, but I'm sure you know who Microsoft is or know who IBM is. And I've consulted for and used to be uh, a senior developer for them. So you see Microsoft Pinnacle Award winning and SEO certified and everything because we literally just before the pandemic, because the pandemic gave a lot of free certifications during that time, we went and got everything. And we've just been continually learning because things are going super fast right now. So including me today. So I'm going to go as fast as I can because I got a lot to cover. But as you see, I'm doing this continually now. I'm talking about this topic with many podcasts continually, and we're covering this quite a bit. Even Serpstat, you see Serpstat right there. I did a webinar just like this. You should be able to find it on the YouTube channel about how to add schema. And schema is very important. And it's kind of the last tail end to today's conversation. But if you want to learn more about schema, there's a whole nother presentation there associated with that. And I also would just want to show you a lot of people talk about stuff that was maybe worked last year even. And a lot of companies and a lot of agencies that we work with are doing stuff that worked last year. Look at this screenshot. I want to show you that we started a 6-week training on this material that I'm covering today in 45 minutes. We did in 6 weeks. And at the beginning of the 6 weeks, I promised and told everybody, if you just follow our stuff, it's going to increase your stuff by 2 or 3 times. And literally, there's the screenshot and the proof and the date. That was last week. And so over the 6-week time period, look at this. So what I'm going to show you today, if you apply it, can have this exact result. This is real time. This is not last year. This is what works right now. So I'm going to share that with you today. Hopefully that gets you excited to see that screenshot. But that's what works today. Why you see I'm on different webinars and different things all over, because I'm talking about harmonic marketing. That's the main thing here. Okay. This is the theory of it. Now, I always say theory leads to mastery, leads to action, leads to results. This is the theory of it. The theory is based on taking your message or your client's message, and we'll see if you're an agency and you're working local SEO or you're SEO and or local business, you want to make sure that the message you're putting out matches the marketing, matches how you do it, matches the delivery mechanism, and matches the person who's looking for it. Like, this is the theory of harmonic marketing. And not only that, but you want your server speeds to match what the people want. You want the blog to be in connection to all the other entities associated with the social media and that experience and that engagement, and the Google business and that experience and that engagement is all harmony. Okay. And where does it start? Guess what we are? Guess what we're smart at? Keyword research, looking for intentions of humans and that kind of thing. AI hasn't taken over that yet, but we're looking for that so that we can harmonize with it. Okay. We can use the tools to help us, but we got to start with what's the first note? What's the thing we're after? What's that? That is the number one factor here, the number one thing to all of your local ranking, global ranking, makes no difference. You got to start with that. What's that first note? It's got to be in harmony. And that's why it's important. There's a big screenshot here if you want to take a picture of that. But essentially, if you look at the definition of Google EAT, the EEAT, as it's come to be known now, is the theory of harmonic marketing. It's the exact same. Because what is EAT? EAT is basically taking what's the user experience. Again, that's where we want to start. We want to start with what are they looking for? What is their thing? And so Google is saying, well, we want people that's had experience with that thing that you're selling or that you're talking about or whatever. And that's the first E. Okay. The experience isn't just about web speed, it's about the degree of experience with the actual use of the product. So that literally the key number one to ranking locally quickly and number one to have the results that we showed you in that screenshot is it first got to start with experience, and that's actual use of product. Okay. And we have a new tool that connects the picture to the map pin drop to the keyword to the YouTube video to the social media post, all the user's experience. We're taking that user's experience and attaching it to the keyword attention, and then attaching it to the actual web page. We'll show you how to do that. But expertise. So not only the experience, but now expertise. Y'all heard the knowledge, the that kind of thing. And that's why I talk against using Chat GPT to create content solely. You have to edit that. You have to give an author box in order for that content now to have this second thing and eat the expertise. Chat GPT don't have the expertise, and sometimes it's wrong. So the expertise is the person, the author box or whatever that's below that. That's got to be there. So if you want local to rank, the content that's written on the local page has to be by the person who owns the company or the person who does the work themselves, meaning the expertise, not only the customer's experience, but now the expertise of the person delivering the plumbing, delivering the dentist, delivering the fill in the blank. They have to show expertise. So that content, when Google looks at that content, says, who created this? If it's AI, then they're not going to rank it. Guaranteed. Okay, you can do the test yourself. They're not going to rank it. But if it's written by the plumber from the plumber's experience, and the plumber has a certification is attached to their chamber, is attached to their certification, is attached to those other entities, that's the expertise. Google sees that, boom, that's going to rank you better. Okay. Authoritativeness, that includes whether they're recognized as expert in the field, that not only if that plumber had an article that was, now in a journal or whatever, that's the authoritativeness. You're going to rank better. Trust, accurate and reliable content. Okay. The good reputation, the Google business reviews, the Yelp reviews, the anything that goes along with that. But trust is not necessarily a bad review. It's a bad response to a bad review. Okay. That's where trust is built. A good response to a bad review is, hey, let me fix the problem. That builds trust. Google sees that and Google ranks that better. Okay. So if you don't respond, again, we're going to talk about cadence today. If you don't respond in a timely manner to any bad reviews, any bad comments on social media, on and on and on and on, that is SEO now. Sorry. That's SEO now. Meaning when SEO has another dimension, it's not just about backlinks and gaming, that kind of stuff anymore. It's now about user experience. It's now about engaging. It's now about proving you are the expert. Okay. It's not just about spamming content. I know a lot of people want to just spam content now with Chat GPT, but that's not going to work. Okay. We've seen it. We've tested it. It's not going to work. Customer review content is the best. So what we do is we basically take a customer review video. We built an app where the dentist or the hairstylist or the cabinet maker is in the field, takes a picture with their iPhone app. That picture then attaches map pins, attaches the AI reads, well, this is a cabinet, red cabinet, et cetera, et cetera. And then they can take a video testimonial of a happy customer and then instantly 5-star reviews for, instantly from that experience. Okay. Customer review content. And then with a WordPress plugin, throws that, rewrites that onto an experience page or piece of content that talks about how happy John and Sally were on the new cabinet they got in a specific area because the map pin got dropped. Okay. This is the new local SEO, and it's all built on EAT. Okay. Which is harmonizing this trust factor. And what's the trust factor? If there's a person in my local area down the street who got a cabinet made that's a certain color and a certain feature and a certain whatever, and they're happy and thrilled about it, they're going to rank number one now for that search. If there's map pins dropped, if there's the tags dropped, if there's all those things, if there's all these extra harmonies we're going to talk about from server speeds and different things in place, they're going to rank number one now for that. Okay, so that's why we want to harmonize trust. Where does trust begin? In the experience of the person receiving the service. That makes sense, right? If you want to analyze whether Serpstat is a great tool or not, you're going to want to talk to the people who use it, like me, who says, it's amazing, it's one of the best. You're going to want to know my experience, the user, the person who's not the tool, not Alina. She's going to say it's great no matter what, right? Because she's the tool maker, but I'm the user and I'm going to say, let me show you how I'm using it. So where does Harmony start? And it starts what we call Hum Jam. That's how our company was created, was on the idea. I'm a musician, been with a rock band, and have a Berkeley College degree, not Berkeley, California, but the College of Music. And so Hum Jam to us, when we first started in SEO, kind of we now blend in everything, but with SEO, because it's now focused on everything, we looked up Hum Jam. Hum Jam basically is when you hum a tune, you're like da 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 da. Musicians hum a thing and then they go to their instrument or they play it. Like I'll hum some rhythms and then go, oh, this is, let me try it. That's what hum jamming is. That's why we came up with Hum Jam as our brand, because basically we think about what are the appropriate keywords. That's where it starts. Okay. All the hum jamming, all the local ranking fact, all that kind of stuff starts with that experience. Remember, the experience as being kind of that number one thing starts with this harmonic keyword improvisation and testing stuff out. What does that mean? We talk to the local HVAC repairman, HVAC meaning heating and air condition repairman, and ask him, what do you think people are looking for? What are they looking for? What are they typing in? We're hum jamming. We're just brainstorming. Okay, that's what a hum jam is. Now, here's the mistakes. Write these down and take a screenshot of this. And I'm going to go through fast clicking it because I'll just get to the end here. There we go. The countless mistakes that are made at this hum jam phase is not auditing or communicating to the customer first for what they're already ranking for and why. Meaning, go ahead before you hum jam with the client and do that Serpstat research. I'll show you a little screenshot, but just put in the client and see what they're already ranking for. Okay, chances are they're already ranking for their name. Okay, but that's not going to move the dial for their business. If they're already ranking for their name, they're already ranking for that, right? So analyze that first and see if you can think of some, in the music world, some rudiments, some notes, some, riffs or whatever to think, oh, well, this is how we start. This is how we start jamming. We think of some riffs, and how we do that is we basically audit the customer first. We want to see before we even talk to them. Now, not speaking with the customer first and establishing the harmony on their goals. So many SEO, local SEO people or whatever, they do this task without talking to the customer or the client, or they're not getting the actual, what are you looking for? What is the thing that you're searching for? You want to establish harmony on their goals, and I'll show you a sheet. And then not establishing the correct targets is biggest mistake in local SEO, is going for stuff that's just not correct, not right. I'll show you how to sort that here in a second. Missing low-hanging fruit by being in a rush. How many times are you in a rush? You get paid by a client and you want to go rush, and you just throw keywords together. You just start blasting content. And you're like, look, we're doing work. And the work is not what moves the dial. They're not paying for work. They're paying for results. Okay, so it's not about the work. And you got to get to know the customer's avatar, or even their customer. Interview their customer if you can, just to kind of see what are these keywords. And here's the agency's suggestion. If you're an agency, have a shareable keyword sheet that you're brainstorming with the client. You and the client have access to it because you share it with them, and they can add stuff to it. You're researching. They can see it, and have like a 7-day period when you first start where you and them are looking at keywords, so that you can all, guess what, get in harmony together. They know the keywords. You know the keywords. You know where they rank. They know where they rank. You know their domain rank or their domain authority. They now know it. They know the competitors now rank domain authority. You know it. You're all together. And it looks like this. we do a spreadsheet like this. We use Serpstat to create this because all the data is there. Is what is their current rank? So we use the Serpstat backlinks dashboard. If you go there, you can run a report that'll tell you what we call it domain authority, but it's domain rank. It'll tell you what your client is, and just this example, you see a 15. And so we know based on, so when we do some do queries, no queries, go queries, or information navigational, that kind of thing. It's however you say it. And then we look at the keywords. We do some brainstorming, and then we look at what the client, are they currently ranking for, like HVAC repair? Yeah, they were currently ranking number 68. That's why they hired us, because they want to be in the top 10. That's like page 2. Well, look at that search volume. Great. Look at the competitor DA or domain rank. So I'm a 15, they're a 31. So what's the intent? Book appointment. How long is it going to take to rank? Now, we do a calculation because we know to get from a 15 to a 31, how long that's going to take us to do. And I'll give you some tips on how to bump that number up. But we know that we could possibly get there in 6 months. There's the value, there's the estimated value. So you and your client look at this at the same time. If the customer comes on here and throws a hum jam down, so where you see where it says need HVAC services for Dallas, they're like, hey, can you check on this one? And so your person is going to see that and go, oh yeah, let me throw that in to Serpstat and see if they're currently ranking. Do they have volume? Whatever. This is going to be used. I'm going to show you exactly how to use a completed sheet here. So this is the brainstorming part. This is the improvisation and testing stuff out part. And we want to match the intentions. This is the same as these 3 icons, which is do, no, go. Okay, so this is informational. You want to look at, as people look, navigation, you're looking at what are the keywords that we can kind of drive in this brainstorm and break these down on that shareable sheet. So you put all your brainstorms down on here and you take the data and put it down on here. And then when you actually start doing the work to the side of this sheet, and again, if you opt into our freebie today, we'll give you the sheet. To the side of the sheet is where the actual page goes, where the actual strategy goes, meaning because you're going to have some pages to refresh, some pages to, you're going to sort this. Now, how do you find out what that domain rank is, authority or whatever? Just there's a free, I think you may have to be using, you see the API limits. If you're a Serpstat customer, you can use this, but this is the Chrome extension, the Serpstat Chrome extension I use constantly. Allows me to just double check what the domain rank is, what their backlink profile looks like, what the page analysis is right from the Chrome extension. So you're going to need to know what your current domain rank is. In this example, of course, that's a 15. If this was my, client or customer or me that I'm doing, I'm a 15. So then I'm going to look at the keywords and see what's the competitor DA, and we're going to look at that. So you could use this to look at the competitor domain rank, or you could use this to look at yours, but you need to find out what yours is and then see how it says HVAC repair near me. You take that brainstorm, you throw it into Serpstat research, and now you can see the keyword 39. You see the keyword difficulty over there. You see search volume, you see keywords. You can dig on those and you can come up with a whole nother list where you're looking at the volume, the keyword difficulty, and you see some HVAC duct repair. Keyword difficulty is a 12. And if I'm a 15, then that should be good for me. I should be able to go for that. And that had 110 in volume. So you're basically going through your keyword research and you're putting them in your sheet. Now, we're going to get to kind of how, once you've done all that, what it looks like and how to go from there. But here's the important things to collect. Take a screenshot. Okay. So the thing that you want to take a screenshot here is you just want to make sure when you're looking at this, you were looking at volume. I sort by volume. You see on this screenshot right here, it's sorted by volume. And then I look for difficulty. My partner is always looking at the CPC because he knows if that CPC is high, that's going to be a great term to go for from an SEO perspective. Hopefully that makes sense. And he uses a calculation to show how valuable this would be in a top 10 position. So if you're, ranking for clients or whatever, that's valuable to show them. So you want to make sure the volume's there. Your current ranking, if ranking already. Again, I'll show you on the sheet, but you want to make sure where you're currently at. Keyword SERP analysis. What's the intention of the keyword? We want to know that. What's the top competition, meaning the average DA? My partner just takes the score right off of Serpstat. I sometimes go in and pull the top 10 and look at each individual one if it's really competitive, and then I'll average the ones that I think are my true competition. That I know that's going above and beyond, but that's another way to average the domain rank. And what is your domain rank in comparison to the competition? That's going to show you how long it's going to take you and how much domain authority that you have to build to reach the competition. Okay. And what content do you have to compete? And based on the above is going to give you targets. All right. Now we're going to look into that here in a second, but you want to organize this. Again, we did generally for local SEO, you're going to go location plus service, that plumbing, dentist, hairstyle, there's so many of them. Okay. That's kind of what you're going to use in your research to find different and more and, different things like that. So you're going to, and technically when we get that location, that service, you see on that screenshot over there, it shows we use that in the URL. We use that in the title tag. We use those keywords that we pick when we create new content. When we're refreshing new content, we make sure that keywords and those things are used properly like that. Okay. So we create the SERP review, we create the silos of the related content, we identify the winning phrases, and then we basically create and sort that sheet based on what needs to be refreshed and what needs to be created based on the quickest and fastest to rank with the most money, dollars, etc. If that makes sense. Let me show you here. But other considerations, branded, you can throw if branded searches of other companies you want to target or different things like that. But and then the primary question here is, what are searchers typing into Google right now that I have resources and or creative ideas for? That's what we always ask the client. What do you think? That's the first harmony, is what do you think they're typing in? And this is only for content considerations, not tracking or targeting. We don't track big head words, the name of the company. They'll show up on the Google Analytics reports and stuff like that. And I know a lot of SEO companies go, look at how much you're number one for. And it's really just branded queries, which is not what you're doing for the client. Okay. The client comes with that. So you want to make sure that you're tracking and targeting specific. Let me show you. This is what it looks like when it's filled out. Our partner filled this out. There's over 100 queries here. Okay. This is only showing you just a couple. And basically what we do with this is we look at the current rank, and you see the NAs. The NAs are keywords where the client didn't have a page. So what do? When we sort this and understand where the lowest hanging fruit is based on this data, then we sort it on the lowest hanging fruit, the quickest to rank. And if we can rank quickly on something that doesn't have a page, then we'll create a page, and the internal link we give it will give it enough juice to actually get to where it needs to go if it has the right data. Hopefully that makes sense. Rewind it and play it slower if it doesn't. But you look at the current rank. Where is the client currently ranked for the keyword? So you hum jam the keywords, and then you look at, do they currently rank there? And Serpstat will show you this in an easy report. It's not as hard when you have Serpstat. So you see the current rank. And then based on that, you're also looking at the competitor average DA. So if we're looking, what's the best keyword to target here in my Google business keywords, what's the best, this lowest hanging fruit. So with a keyword sheet like this, we're going to see the current rank. Okay. That looks like low hanging fruit because we could beat that. Okay. And then you look at the competitor DA, go, oh, look at that keyword, and then you look at, oh, well, look at that. That's got 300. That's got the most search volume. We see the DA is 27. So we know we can't rank for that right away. Because if our DA is 6 and they're 27, we got some work to do in authority building, right? But see, look, what do we target though? So which one would be the best? Now, this is what you also are pulling over to the right is the CPC data you see over there. And there's low-hanging fruit we didn't see with the other 3 things. So we're looking at the current rank and going, where is the easiest, the smallest? If we're at 6, that's the lowest hanging fruit at 12. Then we go, well, what's the competitor DA average of? Okay. And then we look down and see what's the monthly volume. And then we go, what's the highest right there? So we look, that's a DA of 20. It's got some volume. That's the highest. People, that must be a great keyword. There's the keyword. The NA means, guess what? I have to create new content. So I'm going to create a content piece based on that keyword and know that had a low DA, lower than some of the others. And we sort it based on that. Meaning, if you take your sheet, and this again has 100 on it, this is just about 20 or so here. You sort the sheet based on the highest value, then the lowest hanging fruit, how easy it's going to be to rank, then how much volume can you expect, then where's your current rank, and that's what's used in our calculation. Your current rank versus your competitor rank gives us how long it's going to take for you to rank based on how quickly we know how we can build authority. Now, what my partner loves to show constantly is that our research here, if done correctly, if applied the content refreshes, the SEO, the ranking factors that we know how to do, this is responsible for $374,000 per month. A client that's paying $5,000 a month, and if done right, the value is 375. That's incredible, right? Like, that's insane. This is good SEO, the $374,000. That's the difference between $100 a month SEO and $20,000 a month SEO, is actually dialing that in and knowing exactly how to create that content for that keyword, for that rank, for that thing to get that dollar value. Because we know that the intention here is even way more money value than that 374. That represents a marketing number. That doesn't represent the actual revenue to the client. So that's why this is massive. Now, here's the biggest mistake seen at this level. Take a screenshot. Not choosing the keyword with search volume. How many times have you run through a campaign and your client's not getting any traffic, and you did blog post after blog post after blog post, but didn't do the keyword research on the title to see that there was actually any volume? We see that over and over again. Not matching the user intent to the content that's being created. We see that over and over again. Not prioritizing keywords to the closest most sales for the client. That's that last step where you go, well, what are people spending the most money on and why? Because if they're spending more money on a particular keyword than any other keyword that's in your list, chances are that one is where you want to target. Okay, because if there's money being spent on it, there's money being made on it. So that we want to put that in our brains. Keywords at the top of the tail having low DA. We don't want to focus on that. Okay, knowing that some of these will take years to rank. Clients don't know that. That's the bad thing, is you want to make sure the client knows. If they're like, oh, I want to rank for plumbing Dallas or plumbing London, no, that where you're at, you're a DA6, and the competition there in that particular keyword is a 46. This is going to take you longer than a year if you do the right things. If you don't do anything, it will never happen. So, you got to let them know. And it actually can help even close sales. Once you got it, okay, once you've nailed down the keywords, okay, this is key here, you throw them in your rank tracker. You've got to immediately, if you're the client, if you have 25 keywords, you got to start. Once you say, look, these are the ones, I'm dialing this in, these are the 25, whatever, that you got to create content for those. If you're going to create content for it or refresh content for it, you got to start tracking it. You got to start tracking it. If you're not tracking, and I don't mean when you click on the domain and it has all the keywords you're currently ranking for, that's not the report. You want a Serpstat tracking. You want to track the history of specific keywords, that 25, that keyword list that I covered with you. You want to track that. That's step number 2. Okay, you get the keywords. Well, step number 1 is brainstorm it with a client, then take those keywords, then create that sheet that I talked about, sort it based on priority. Now add those keywords to your rank tracking. That's going to matter. Okay, you want to know if what you're doing is moving the dial. You got to add the keywords to the rank tracker. Then step number 2, that's step number 1. And we're only at a few minutes in here. Step number 2 is sizing up the competition. That's the other biggest mistake I see in local SEO, is that they don't look at, they're Google is bad, Bing is bad. They look at Google or Bing as the enemy, and they are not the enemy. They are the auditorium. They are the ones that's going to play you, feature you, put you on the top billboard. Okay. The competition is who you're going against. Okay. Who's your real competition? what keywords are they ranking for? Again, Serpstat's great for this because you can just throw the competition and see all of their keywords and go, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one, and just throw it in your research list. What links can you also acquire? You can do backlink gaps. That's the best thing. We'll talk about that in a second. What content's like yours? You're basically not competing against Google. Google's not the enemy here. Google is the auditorium. You want to be at the top of the auditorium, and that you got to get fans. You got to get people to like you. You got to get people to engage. That's what builds the fans in the music world and the entertainment world. Is it's not the theater. The theater is going to be, I like the way that sounds. I like the features. Theaters are based on features, what you can do in them. Google is based on what you can do in it from a marketing perspective. It's there to feature you. Okay, just remember that. So what do we do with the competition? We throw them in the competition analysis in Serpstat. Once we do that, that tells us who kind of, and yeah, Wikipedia, it shows Wikipedia, our Chuck Jones gallery and client, local gallery that we do there for them, is competing against Wikipedia, which is hilarious, and Amazon and these big things. And you see kind of we're number one in a lot of the categories here. But we want to see and dive down and see who is our, we don't consider Amazon our actual competitor, but we want to use this tool to kind of see who's our actual competitor so that we can dial in on the number 2 section here is the SEO competitive elements. Remember, it's not the auditorium that's our competition. It's not Google. It's the competitor. So once we dial in and figure out who they are, we take the top 10 that you look through and figure out, and then we tweak based on them. We see how is their server speeds, how many reviews do they have, how are they in the map pack, do they have unhappy customers, are they do they have Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, fill in the blank, meaning what are the differences and nuances between those competitors and you. That's step number 2, because you're not competing against Google. And even in our sheet, we sort it by what you can rank for the quickest, which is based on your competition, the competitor domain rank, right? And now, once you have that, step 3, because we know who the competition is, now we know how to harmonize the content, meaning we've seen their page, we've seen the competition for the keyword, we know the kind of content they're creating. We know what that looks like. We're seeing that. I don't have time to go through that process this morning, but we're looking at it. And now we're going, again, take a screenshot, but this is harmonizing the content. This is where you go, remember that NA? You go, we need to create new content. But if you were already ranking number 78 and that showed up top, we need to do this, then you're refreshing your content. And that could mean updating your call to action, structuring the content. I'm going to have a screenshot for you and a download for free for you to make sure your on-page SEO is correct, to make sure it has images, metadata. Again, everything that you need on your page is what you compare to the competitors. If they all have a video, you better have a video. If they all have 10 graphics, you better have 10 graphics. Does that make sense? Hopefully you're understanding that when you look at the competitor and you're trying to compete with the keyword that they're ranking better than you need to do that. All right. In addition to match their domain rank, their authority. And hopefully we'll have a little bit of time for that. But you're going to do your audit for that refresh. Okay. So the refresh, and then you're going to do an audit in Serpstat, and it'll tell you what you need to fix. 87 is a good score. But if that shows you that you're at a 70, it's going to give you issues to fix from, you see image size is too large for this page. It would probably score higher than that. You want to score above an 80 to 90 and make sure that you're there from an on page. This is a freebie that I'm going to give you here if you join HumJam Circle. Again, HumJam Circle is a free club that we have where weekly we talk about harmonics and harmonic marketing and SEO and social media and stuff like that, because we believe it's a full picture. But this download right here is what I use for every piece of content. Okay, meaning here's, I got to make sure that my keyword is in all these spots. My keyword's in the meta title, it's in the description, it's in the, you may or may not want to use meta keywords, but I don't care. A domain name, subdomain name, if you have a subdomain, folder name, page name, you got to make sure that you're using the correct keywords in all of these spots. That's the on page. And that's, again, your looking mainly at your competitor. So the top Google ranking factors, everybody asks me all the time what I believe they are. And here's the top three, just like we're doing now. The first, HumJam, user intention match. The second is what we just talked about here. This is based on the quality score. This is also based on the quality score. You see that SEO score is the quality score. Okay, so you want to make sure that the SEO quality score is top notch. And then backlinks and off page. Okay, that's the elephant in the room. But we'll show just a little bit. This is the backlinks and off page for local SEO. It's not about spamming. It's not about Fiverr gigs. It's spamming, news pages or different things like that. I see all different kinds of techniques that people are trying to do. But in reality, for local business, this is about local business. You want to name, address, phone number needs to be consistent on all processes. Okay, Serpstat has a great local tool. We don't have time to cover the local tool today, but they will show you and do an audit of what needs to be done there. Okay, reviews. This is the new backlink for local is reviews. And if you don't have reviews, you got to get them. You got to initialize them. You got to go to clients and say, hey, did you enjoy my service? Will you give me a review? You got to do that's it. That's the new backlink task, is asking for reviews. Okay. Local directories got to be in there. Professional directories got to be in there. Better business. Again, you're going to do a backlink gap analysis using the Serpstat dashboard to figure out where the gaps are, where your competitors have citations, where you have citations. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're going to want to do. Links from the church lady. Any links that's localized and that's associated with your customer testimonial, with your work, that kind of stuff, you need that in there. And 200 plus ranking factors. I'm giving you 9 in this training here real quick. But this is the new engagement. Again, take a screenshot. This is what you want to do. Ask questions, incorporate visuals, use hashtags. There's all this kind of stuff that goes into this is the new SEO. This isn't just based on getting backlinks. Now, step 3, and again, I got about 7 more minutes to rock here. But step 3 is your technology must rock. Plugins must be good. And what that is, again, take a screenshot. So from a local perspective, you still need the tech SEO to be in place. Meaning any of the things that's attached to your Google business that's a local business Google's going to see all this. Is if this technical stuff is taken and it's good in place in the searches you want for it, Google will give you the rankings you need. So what is that? Take a screenshot. Meaning we judge your site based on your robot text file. If you go to humjam.com/robots.txt, you'll see a surprise. You'll see an Easter egg. And the Easter egg's going to say, it'll say, if you find this Easter egg, which is looking at our robot text file, message me and I'll give you a free gift. That's what it'll say. And if you look at other people's robot text files and you see that there's no extra to it, you know that they're bad technical SEO. You just know it. Like if they're not doing anything with the robots, look at all the greats. Look at Amazon robot text. Look at Microsoft robot text. Look at the robot text. You'll see people doing it correctly. So top ranking factors, Google business. So remember the first 3. Now Google business. So those keywords that you're researching or whatever's got to go in your Google business. Web Vitals UX, that's number 5. Mobile factors is number 6. Again, these are my personally tested ranking factors that move the dial. And here's the importance here is peak efficiency. And this is for local, okay? Local. Peak efficiency. Peak efficiency means your plumber probably or your dentist or whatever, they get the most calls from the hours of 11 a.m. Eastern until, that's peak efficiency. So if you have a little 2 gigabyte droplet, all right, and that's your local whatever, and you're getting 35 people at 3 p.m. to your website's not delivering. It's not generating. So that's why you want peak efficiency. TTFB is total time to first byte. That shows Google how quick the server responds to the requests. And workers. When I say workers, I mean PHP workers that actually run the machine on your server. These little 2 gigabyte droplets only have 7 PHP workers, which means at max they can run 7 visitors really well at max. Okay, so that's why you want to do that. Google Business, if you want to take a quick screenshot, this is the trust. Here's a checklist on this. You need to make sure that all these things are here. Again, I teach a class on that. Web Vitals, I'm not going to cover that. The main thing is this peak efficiency TTFB, and I'm going to give you a page here right now. So everybody who's on there, and even Alina, if you want to copy that, put that in there. Anybody wants to put that in there. This is a link, app.speedvitals.com, TTFB. It's going to give you a test. Run your clients, run anybody in this test. And if you see oranges on the right-hand side, that's bad. You will not rank as well. You saw the rank that we showed that screenshot with the ranks go way up. That's taking our oranges to greens. Okay. And one of the steps there, this is one of the things that actually matter. This is not core vitals. Okay. Core vitals measures things that can be faked with plugins. The time to first byte cannot be faked with a plugin. Can't be faked. It's the server response to the request. You can't fake that. So core vitals, I say, are for amateurs because you can run and go, look, we're 100 all day long, but your ranking is not going up. Why? Because core vitals does not move ranks. Web vitals do. And this peak traffic efficiency plus time to first byte plus the amount of workers on the servers, those are web vitals and those move the dial. Core vitals don't, because it just shows you kind of some experience stuff, but Google's not showing you that that's the most important. All right, mobile first, you got to do that too. All of your stuff, you got to test it with a mobile. If it's not working there, you're not going to rank. So again, here's the top ranking factors, 1 through 9. That's all that I can deliver today. Is the next is social signals. So as soon as you get that content, as soon as it's technically okay, you deliver the content, you create it. Now you've got to create the social signals. Okay. And then entity connects. My schema training is about the entity connects. And then the quality timing is about you make the blog post or edit. You then make sure your Google search, you index it correctly. Then once it's indexed, you then do an internal backlink, index that internal backlink. Then you go post it on your Google business. Then you post it on your social media profile. Then you link that profile back. Then you comment. Then you have, that's the timing. All of that takes place. Now, we do complete certification, all this. We have detailed training, certification. This is only 9 that we had time to kind of cover today. But see, here's the old school. This is the way it used to work. Crawl, you can kind of see this old school stuff. This is like 3 years ago. Now this algorithm, as most of you know, has been kind of exposed with different news and stuff that's been going down, because this is the new way. This is the new algorithm is EEAT that we've been covering all morning here, because the new way is built on entities, is built on people sharing, people engaging, that kind of stuff. It's not based on like this kind of old way. It's now being shifted, and even AI is kind of changing the way things are working. And the new school is based on these entities, which is why you have to connect it. Now, share as much as possible. I'm just about finished here, but I do want you to know that as soon as you create that content, as soon as you refresh it, as soon as you post it, after doing the correct keyword research, you've got to share it on social media. You got to share it on you got to put it in your email newsletter. Email newsletters make a big, massive difference when you're sharing that link you just created in an email that went out, and then asking people to go to that link and comment on it. And if you comment on it, you'll get a gift, connecting all these dots. That's the Harmony connection to local. If your database reactivation, you probably heard that for local. The first thing they need to reactivate is sending traffic to the links that you guys are creating in SEO. Okay. So that's what you want to do. Screenshot this. Don't have time to completely go over it, but these are the local backlink stuff. This is the way of building that authority to go from a 9 to a 21 in the local way. Now, we always say no PBNs, no gaming, no backlink spamming, any of that kind of stuff, because it ultimately isn't working today. It may work 2 years ago, not working today. But this is the way we do it today. Local directories, as we mentioned, main authorities, social media profiles and pages, industry directories, niche directories. These things are easy to acquire. Look at your competitors and just see where they're at, and that's easily going to get. Guest posts, we still do. Infographics of niches are great, especially for local businesses. Friend trades are totally okay. The plumber sharing, the HVAC sharing, that's totally okay and great for SEO. Disclaimer, Google may disagree on the purchase placements, but for me, that's only if you see a good link that looks like it would be a good link and they say, hey, it's going to cost this amount of money, and that's probably okay. Harmonic link building strategies, good links, topically relevant. The higher the DA, the better, but topically relevant. A high DA, but not topically relevant, bad link. Okay, so just make sure you understand that. And then kind of the main thing here is the rise of the omni-channel and EAT, which is the social signals. The engagement is, you're going to see EEEAT. Okay, there's going to be another E that'll come along, which will be engagement, experience, expertise, authority, and trust. You watch, because the next new factors that's coming is the social signals. There used to be little bits of social signals. Now social signals, engagement, that kind of stuff is really big. And then CRM signals, which are clicks through email, clicks through social, clicks through, when you see all this click through stuff, that actually helps your ranking. And then the schema, again, I've done a whole training on that for extra benefits. And I'm just going to quickly just show the screenshot, let you take a screenshot here. And then I'm going to be done for Q&A or questions. But this is kind of the typical Harmonic campaign project cadence. Okay, you see what we did. These are the steps: keyword research, technical audit, competitor landscape, build the campaign with a lowest fruit principle, our sheet. Fill that out. We'll give you a download. Make sure the height's hosted correctly, that it passes those TTFB scores. Create or refresh content after publishing. Of course, don't forget GSC. You know how many agencies we've seen them with thousands or hundreds of created content, but they're all not in the Google index, and you're like, what the heck? And they forgot that step. Publish the content, then go to socials. In proper cadence, send a broadcast to the list. Okay, take that screenshot. I'm not going to cover that, but SEMrush said these are the SEO, the KPIs, but in reality, the only one that's the most important is the ROI. This is what we say. Take another screenshot to this. These are the most important KPIs to local SEO. Which direction requests, costs, bookings, contact us forms, stuff like that leads to getting sales. That's the new school. This is our Harmonic formula, basically, which is those right keywords, the right content, that authority building, the right technology behind the scenes, using Serpstat, using our hosting, using our cadence tools, and the right timing to make all that work. That's kind of how we run everything here. Our tools, our hosting, our training, and then having the best tools in the business to run it and do the research and track it and all that kind of stuff. Go to humjamcircle.com. And again, if you're interested in this cadence tool, it'll auto post, it'll post all the socials, it does link backs, it does a lot of different stuff that takes a lot of manual work. This kind of is tuned and geared to making it look natural. So if you're interested in that, fill that out /Hawk Local, and we'll send you more information on that. So if you're interested in that, otherwise, go here. Here's kind of the homework, work to complete, which is complete these things. Okay. But if you go to humjamcircle.com, join our free training group, and you'll get these free things today that I covered in the call: the keyword sheet, the 19 top on-page factor cheat sheet that was in there, and the 5-point harmonic ranking guide is a guide that you didn't see, but it's a whole guide. It's like 10 pages, something like that covers kind of the top 5 things here that we talked about. So if you're interested in that, have at it. That's all I got for everybody today. If there is any questions or anything that I could answer, that would rock. And I don't see Alina on the call. There she is. I was like,
Oh, Joseph, thank you very much. It was
yes,
just whoa. This
there
is the
was a
first.
lot. There was a lot.
There's a lot of actionable tips and tools, checklists. The formula is great, and it is the first webinar that we get homework.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, nice, nice. I'm a professor, so I always give homework. I'm like, you got to get it done. That's why I say theory to practice to mastery. You got to practice.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Now let's take a few minutes to answer questions of our attendees. Guys, please type your questions into the YouTube live chat. You have several minutes for that until we will pick up them. And now we'll start with the questions you sent us before the webinar. And it seems, Joseph, you covered almost all the questions. So I'd ask only one.
Yeah.
Which metrics would you recommend to track to measure the effectiveness of the local SEO efforts? The main metrics.
Yeah, the main metrics, kind of what we do, a lot of people locally run like a call rail is a tool that we use where when they call in, it tracks the call, tracks all that kind of stuff. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that the Google search, when you connect the analytics, the G4 to the Google search console to our call rail tracking on the web page, we want to see that search term tracked to an actual booked call. So our first, that's what I said on the slide, the first KPI is return. We want to see return on efforts and everything associated with that keyword, and we want to see booked calls coming in, or if it's a form, we use again go high level. I don't know if that's something that some of clients or understand or know about, but we use that tool to then track form submissions. So if they submit a form to book a call, again, the calls coming in and the book calls, that's the first KPI, is literally the action points on our page is the most important KPIs. When those get clicked and when those get engaged with, we track that back to our keyword efforts. And so if that's not happening, then something's broken, meaning the client wants the calls, wants the clicks, wants the submission. And that's got to be our first KPI. Our first thing we track is basic. Well, I mean, if you're looking, are we ranking? You're not going to get the traffic if you're not ranking. You definitely got to get the client ranking to get the traffic, to then get the call to action. But we mainly want to see as our number one KPI the call to action. But we definitely want to see it ranking, and we definitely want to see the traffic after that. So hopefully that answered the questions. But
Great. Thank you.
we consider
And
ourselves ROI first SEO. What that means is that we don't tackle or go after, we don't create any content where we can't make a mental connection to how that's going to make money. There's no
yeah,
need to create content if that, not make money all the time, but at least engage and fulfill the need of the individual who's looking for it.
okay, thanks. So let's switch to the questions in the chat. The first question is from Anna. How to encourage customers to leave reviews on a Google Business Profile?
Yeah, that's a good one. How to encourage, I the worst way, and I think you see, like, you're not supposed to say, I'll give you a free gift for doing it, because they're supposed to do it on their own. But asking for reviews, the best way is, and what we do with our clients that we work with is right after they're receiving the service. Unfortunately, if they ate the sandwich or got their hair done or got their cabinets made a month ago, going back to them after the fact is not going to be, that's not going to be the best thing. So the easiest and best way is right at the time of sale. That's why our app is the person delivering the service taking the testimonial video of the actual customer. That's the best eat the experience of the actual customer's face that's attached to the review is higher powered eat than without the customer video. So taking a picture of the video, that's gonna start there, and that's ultimately the first place that you can get that review. You ask them directly, hey, can I get a testimonial from you? Do you consider this 5 stars? And if they say yes, then our tool, they can mark that and it'll go ahead and do the reviews for them. But get them to do it immediately. And if they don't do it immediately, what we also do within the week, put a team member. If you got a team member doing directory submissions, doing that kind of work, have them also call the client who just got served and say, hey, can we get a review? That's as good as a backlink. So if you're doing backlink outreach, review outreach, but make sure it's done within a 7-day period. It's got to be done quickly. The review has to come shortly after the experience. Otherwise, it'll be lost. So that's what makes it difficult, is after the fact. But if it's right during the response, say, can I get it right now? While they're happy, while they got a smile on their face, that's the best time. That's the best place. And put a team member to call the people that just got serviced and say, did you like the service? Hey, would you fill out this thing? Hey, would you fill out this thing? Get a coupon for next time. I think you can give out coupons. Get a coupon for next time. That's the way we would do it.
Great, thanks. That makes sense. Okay, the next question from Paul. What do you think is the best website structure for a taxi company? Different unique pages for each service plus location, or all services and locations separate?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. So basically, the way we structure all local business is our SEO efforts independent of the customer experience. And I know they're joined together. And what I mean by that is that all local businesses, if you have service areas that you'll need to have service areas plus the services you provide to those areas in a format where if a user comes to your page, they can go, here's my area, do they provide plumbing? Yes. That's from a structure perspective, but that's not how we SEO you. A lot of people will go, well, this is how we're SEOing because we got services and areas and those are the keywords. Those may not be good keywords. Okay. So where you're going to get your keywords is from that research that we talked about today. And it may or may not include those services and those particular areas in the way in which you lay it out on the page. So when you lay out a local page, you go ahead and put the services plus areas as a localized. You could do it. You could do, here's our services, here's our areas. You could do services with an area. You could do it either way, but that's not going to matter in our keyword research, because our keyword research is going to show us if we're already ranking for that, if we're not ranking for that. If we're doing a brand new page, then we'll just have the services plus areas as a base structure that has an about page, a contact, the basic structure, privacy policy, basic website structure. Just Google that. What's a basic website structure? You want a basic website structure. Your services plus area is a basic structure inside of a local business site, but that's not what our SEO campaign is geared towards. Our SEO campaign is going to put articles in that structure. It's going to put blog entries in that structure that's going to rank, that's going to push people to the CTAs. Do you know what I'm saying? So we don't, our structure is not dictating our SEO score or whatever. So the structure really doesn't matter to us as long as the client's satisfied, the consumers understand what's provided by the client there. The structure don't matter, because when we do SEO research, we're going to go in on that specific keyword, that specific phrase, that specific target, so that those specific pages, because you rank pages, not sites. It's not sites that get ranked, it's pages that get ranked. And so that's why we make sure that each individual page gets those number one listings. Hopefully that makes sense. We're not trying to rank area pages or service pages. That's not what we're trying to rank. We're trying to rank keyword phrases specifically matched to intentions of the user that gets high CTA. That's way different than just a local, I'm just going to do a framework that's, that's for amateurs. That's not the way that you make a lot of money for your local business. So anyways, hopefully that helps. But I mean, I'm being a little bit strong when I say that, but only because we see agency after agency after agency making that mistake.
Okay, thank you. And Paul texted thanks too. Thank you
Oh,
very much.
good. Yeah. If you have any more questions on that, Paul, reach out to Joseph S. Kahn on Twitter, and would love to talk to you about it.
Great. One more question from Paul. Do you have a formula for calculating the profit per keywords as shown in your sheet?
It's in that sheet that you're going to get. If you join the free Harmonic Growth Circle, that sheet you're going to get a copy of, and it's got the calculations and stuff in there.
Great.
Yeah. So you'll get a copy of that.
Okay. And one more question from Anton. What role does local link building play in local SEO, and how to get started with it?
What role does what? Repeat the first part.
What role does local link building play in
Oh,
local
link building.
SEO? Mhm.
Yeah, link building. It very important, super important. So meaning if your competitor, again, we want to analyze the competitor. That's the first thing. If your competitor has a backlink to Better Business Bureau, get it. If your competitor has a backlink to bestofweb.com, get it. projectreview.com, Angie's List, on and on and on, meaning all the directories that are out there. If your competitors have those, you need to have those. Okay. That's how we do backlinks. Meaning the first way we do backlinks is if the competitor has it and it's easy to acquire, why don't we have it? Because those are easy to acquire, easy to get, and we got to match the competitor at least on the backlinks. To go higher, then we can then outreach. And I would say, yes, local directories, local links, the church lady, as I said in my screen. But even paid directories like Best of the Web or Professional Design or whatever your client is in, even paid directories can help. So I would say link building from even social media profiles that give do follow juice back that fits the topical relevance. Remember, that's the importance when it comes to backlinks. If it's anything topically relevant to your client or to you, then it's a good backlink if you can get one. And here's another key: the content that's right in the backlink, if that content is topically relevant to where that backlink goes, that also matters a lot too. It's not just about the DA or the domain authority of that backlink now. It's also about the topically relevant semantics, natural language, that kind of thing. It's looking for that now to get to eliminate spam. So, but backlinks with topical relevance that are matching what your competitors have and or the industry or niche are good. They actually are what we use to take over listings for sure.
Great,
Spamming
thank you
them
very
is not
much.
good. Spamming the backlinks is not good. Okay, because Google cares about if they're relevant or not.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. So it looks like we've covered all our questions. So Joseph, would you like to add or highlight anything before wrapping up?
Just go follow the main harmonics, which is the right keywords, the right content, the right authority, and do it in a way that matches kind of a rhythm that's natural. That's the main takeaway here. But go to humjamcircle.com, and if you join that, it's free. You'll see me and my partner on that. If you join, it's free. The three gifts that I mentioned, we'll give you that to you, which is the keyword sheet, the on-page ranking sheet, plus I got a guide, the harmonic ranking guide. We'll give you that too if you go to humjamcircle.com. And you can always find me, just look for Joseph S. Kahn. Make sure you put the S in there because there's a famous Britney Spears DJ who's named Joseph Kahn. So if you put the S in there, then you'll find me on YouTube, on Twitter, on anything, but you got to put the S in there. I did not write the music for Justin Timberlake.
Great. Thank you. And lastly, I'd like to remind our attendees to follow Joseph's and Serpstat social medias. Check out our future webinars and join Serpstat chat on Twitter. It's not a voice chat. We are texting through tweets in real time. We discuss all things related SEO and digital marketing. There you can ask SEO experts questions about a featured topic. Also, it's kind of brainstorm where your expertise is very welcome too. We host the Serpstat chat regularly on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on our Twitter. So join our Google Calendar to make sure you won't miss our future Twitter chats and webinars. I'll send the link to the calendar here to the chat. So it's here.
Yes.
And this Thursday, the topic will be content marketing trends to watch in 2023. You are welcome to join Serpstat chat as well there on Twitter. So, Joseph, thank you a lot for your time and knowledge today. Thank you all, guys, for joining us today for this informative webinar on local SEO. We know that your time is valuable and we appreciate that you chose to spend it with us. We hope that you will take the lessons and strategies that you have learned today and apply them to your own work. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and we hope to have the opportunity to connect with you again in the near future. So, thank you and goodbye. See you.
Go to Serpstat Chat.